Hello guys, welcome to another video tutorial by Nocode Africa, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to build these application, the messenger application from Facebook. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to build this, right? So we're doing this purely for educational purposes, okay? So, and also to help you understand how to use FlutterFlow to build anything that you want to build. All right, so we're not trying to like clone the application, we're just trying to create something similar, and we will be doing this with Flutterflow. And not just that, we will work on this both front end and back end. And so of course we're going to start with front end, and then later on we'll start back end. By back end I mean we're going to integrate it with Firebase. We're going to add custom functions, different things, just to make the application work the way it should work. Okay, so sit back and then enjoy this. This is the part one of this tutorial. Okay, this is very simple. And meanwhile guys, I would like you to please just hit on the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel, because this is one of the best channels that you can actually get to learn how to use no code instruments to build mobile and web applications without writing codes. Subscribing to the channel, and of course liking this video. This is one of the things that encourages me to make tutorials for everyone that is always watching. And sincerely, I want to say thank you very much for always subscribing, always liking, and dropping comments. I'm always excited to see comments. All right guys, thank you very much. So away from that, let's get straight to business, right? It's business time, guys. All right, so where do we start from? It's totally beginner friendly, so just go to flutterflow.io and then sign in. If you don't have an account, create one. So basically Flutterflow is one of the best applications that you can use in building mobile and web application without writing codes. And I'm actually one of the Flutterflow ambassadors, and I'm really encouraging you to learn Flutterflow, which will help you build mobile and web application without writing codes for yourself, for clients, and for any project that you have in mind. All right, so let's go. Create new, and then we say messenger app. Why not? All right, so we say create blank, and then we're gonna skip this step. This particular step is for connecting to Firebase. All right, but we won't do that, so not now, not in this particular part of the video. We're just going to work in the UI. Yeah, so just the UI for now. Okay, so this says create account. This is for splash screen. Is there anything for login? There's nothing. Okay, so this is login. So well, you can just create an account, or you can click this to login. Okay, I get that. Nice. So let's start it, guys. So here we're going to just give our screen a name. So the very first one here is home page. Just click out and change this to home. All right, so we are going to take off these bar part, and then we're just going to go ahead and then bring in this icon logo. Yes, so I'll click on export. All right, I'll click on export. I will increase this to like 3x just to make sure that it's very sharp, like high resolution, and then I will just export it. All right, so I export it, and then the next thing I'm gonna do quickly is look at this dimension of the logo is 104 by 104. So I will just come back here. This is a column already inside my scaffold, so I just need to go ahead and then add an image inside that column, and that image is gonna be 104 by 104. So sorry, 104 by 104. Okay, great. And we can actually remove the border radius, right? So then we can change from network to asset, so that we can click this to upload the image from our system. So I'll click on this to upload the image, and that's it. So the image now is inside Flutterflow. I will click on this and say center line. Great, but I need to go ahead and right click on this and wrap these in a row, and then center line this as well. Beautiful. Okay, so now the next thing I need to do is add this particular detail. It says here from Facebook. Okay, so what font is this? It says Gilroy. Okay, so I don't have Gilroy installed in my system, so I will just use another kind of font. Okay, so but let's just look at this. Let me copy. Let's turn on developer mode. So I'm turning on developer mode so I can see things. Like now I have to copy the color code for these, and I will just click on my column, click on this, and just add row. Inside my row I will add the text. This text says from. Okay, now Control A and from, and then I will paste my color code here. Great. And then I will go ahead and check out the size. It's 600 by 12, so I would just go ahead and change this from 400 to 600, change this to 12, and I will go to the theme settings. I will go to typography and icons, then I'll come here to primary font. I will search for Gilroy and see if I can find it. We have Glory, we didn't have Gilroy, so let's no, hold on guys. Gilroy, we didn't have it. So I will use Source Sans Pro. It's a guy. So great, that's it. All right, so we have Source Sans Pro, and I will click on this and center align it. Right, and then I'll just say click on this, and look at this. This is actually an image, right? Yeah, it's an image. Is it really an image? Yeah, it is. There's an image. So I'll go ahead and say export, and I will preview it just to see. Okay, yeah, see, this is it. So I'll go ahead and say 3x, export Facebook, and the dimension is 104 by 20 pixels. So I'll click on this and say add a row, and in the row add an image. The image is 104 by 20 pixels. Okay, great. So let's confirm it. So 104 by 20 pixels, and then change from network to asset quickly guys, and then we go to here and then we upload the image. Wait for a couple of seconds. While we're waiting, let's look at this. All right, so here now okay, so I think I will change from what I did before. I did centralize to this page, but no, I don't think that's what we should do. So this is 260 padding from the top, so let's come over here and just say take this back to like this. Great. So we will say 260 here. The padding on the top for these particular widgets is 260 from the top, and then okay, let's correct this. This is not showing fully because we haven't used this. All right, so box feed contain, and we can say center line, and then for this particular one, let's look at it. So let's see, this is 317. All right, so we will say 317. Great guys, we're doing really beautiful work. All right, so 4 pixels in between, so this is gonna be 4 pixels in between. All right, so now we have it. Beautiful design, amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and do this next thing. So this is the next screen, and then in this particular screen we have something similar to what we already did, but not too similar. Let's just go ahead and duplicate this screen. So I'm duplicating this screen, and it's called account. So I will just come here and call it account. Okay, so now we have this, and I think it's the same position from the top actually. Let's go ahead and then maybe just I think delete this one. We might use this one, yes. So here, all right, let me zoom in so you can see. So we have this this is a text field actually. All right, so what we would do guys is okay, let's just delete this. Click on this, and we will say text field. All right, so we will put it here in the text field. All right, so this is it. All right, great. It's a text field, and there's a line here. Well, this could also be the same line. We can still leave it like this. I think we should. So I will say phone number. I'm copying this. It's 500 by 16. Right, so I will just come over here and then change from label text. I paste this. All right, so and it's 500 by 16, so I can just change it to 500 and change this to 16. Why not? Okay, and then I will copy the color code here and then paste it here. Great. So now I have these. So we have something like this now, right? And then the padding on the left and on the right is 20 pixels. So yeah, so let's click on this and then change the padding here to 20 pixel. Change the padding here to 20 pixels as well. All right, let's look at the spacing in between them. So let's say it's 164. So we'll say 164 here. And we have another one here. So this is for password. So we would just duplicate this, Ctrl D, and then let's click on this and let's copy these first. The spacing in between them is like 12. So let's say this is gonna be 12. Okay, great. Then let's come here to label text and paste password. And then now we're going to remove, there's no line here, guys. There's no line on this one. So we can just first to remove the line, we'll just scroll down, go to input decoration properties and say none. All right, guys, so we have it like that. And then when the next thing we need to do is this button. So this button is the height is 45. Let's copy the color. All right, so does it have a border? It doesn't, but it has a text inside. So let's click on here and then click on add a child to widget button, and then here we will paste the color of the button. Right, great. Then we will say the width is infinite, sorry, and then I think it's 45, right? So let's see, it's 45 pixel. Let's copy the text on the button. So that's it, login. And then here the elevation, we have to make it 0. So elevation is like the blurry thing around the button. So the next thing we need to do quickly, it has a border radius of 16. All right, 16 pixel. So then we have some spaces on the left and right, padding, which is 2020. So we will go to here and say 20, and then we will say 20, and then we'll scroll down and turn these to 16 as the border radius of the button. And then here for this particular text, we will copy the color code, and then we will come to the font and then we will paste it. All right, guys, so like that we have this. It's not so obvious, right? So the reason why it's not so obvious is we need to wrap this entire column with a container that is white color. So we will say infinite width, infinite height, and now we have something that is a bit obvious, right? So we'll go ahead and click on this and duplicate. Now that's what we're gonna use for this one. So this, I think it's the same color, so the only thing is changing here is the content inside. So we will click on this and change the text in the second button to this, and then we need to also change the color to this. Okay, great. And then I can also work on the padding. If I click on this and check, it's 12 pixels apart. Then I will just scroll up and say 12 pixels. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have two buttons. So there's a space between this and this, 34. So I'll just click on this and say 34. Sweet. All right, so there's a small problem. This is actually 45, not 35. That's why the buttons look smaller or shorter. So I say 45, and then here for this one I would say 40, not 35, 45. So now we have big buttons now. Okay, great. So then we have this last part. This is also like a button from what I'm seeing, but we can do it two ways. Let's duplicate this, guys. Duplicate it, right? Then come to the fill color and clear it. I'll just make it white. All right, so and then here for the text, let's copy this, and then inside here we will just paste it. Okay, and then we will come over here and copy the color code and then paste it here. Alright, so this particular section of this tutorial series for the messenger application will be very useful for people who are beginners and they're trying to see how to build UI using FlutterFlow. Like, so this is like front end thing now. Okay, so now we're good with these, and we're pretty okay to push on. All right, so we're fine with this screen. Now we're done with that. The next thing we need to quickly do is save your InfoSwitch account faster. Okay, we will do this later. Find your phone contacts. All right, so there's some things that we won't implement, right? I just wanted to show you some skills when it comes to creating the chats. All right, so then at the end we will just add some other features just to make it nice. Like we will have this. Yes, I will create this shortly, but let's do this particular one. All right, let's do this particular one, and let me see. I think this is what you have. Then you have get started. Okay, so we might not need this. I just want to go straight to showing you how to build it. All right, so I think what we can just use is here. We're not building the entire messenger application per se. We're just building. I want you to see the chat features here, so you'll be able to users will be able to chat, right? That's like the key thing. And then okay, so this is, so I am gonna create this screen, and then this screen, and then yeah, we need this screen to active people, so we can say people, right? And then active. Okay, great. So let's start with this one. All right, let's start with this one. Now when I create this, you get to learn a lot of things too in between it. All right, so let's hit the ground running, you know. Okay, let's go. This, to start with these, we're going to just go ahead and click on this to create a new page. All right, so we create a new page. What is it going to be called? Story. Well, it's called story. We will maybe change it later to be more definitive. So we will click here. Oh, hold on guys, do we need it? We will find another way to make it static without using the app bar. I will show you guys. So let's go ahead and then create this situation now. So this is this image. If I come here and then click to export, I see this is it. I can just maybe export it at 3x. So good. And then the dimension is 36 pixel by 36. So I will click on here and add a row on top. In the row, I will add a circle image widget, right? So it's I think it was 36, so 36. So we say 36, great. And then I'll change this from network to asset, and then I will click on this and click to upload this image. Fine, now we have this image uploaded. All right, so let's see, we need to add this particular thing here. You see this? So this is actually what can I call it? We can assume this to be a button, right? Well, yeah, there's no problem. We can use it to make things faster for us. So let's say this is a button. The size is 19 by 13 pixels. So let's go ahead. Now let me zoom in so you can see Flutterflow clearly. So let me just do some padding from the top here. 46, so we can see what is happening there. So 46. Okay, great. So now I want to add this thing on top of it, but how I'm gonna do that is I have to go ahead and then wrap these in something called stack. It's another widget. It allows you to put things on top of things. All right, so I'll click on this and then I'll add a button. Don't worry guys, it's a big button, but we'll make it small. 19 by 13 pixels. So I will just go ahead and come here and say 19 by 13 pixels. All right, so it's a pretty big button. And then the container inside, it's red, so I'll copy this and I will say this. All right, great. And then inside the button is this text that says 9 plus. So 700 by 8 is the dimension of the text. So we'll come here and say 700 by 8. Now that's not really working out, is it? Okay, so let's it's not really working out actually, so let's paste this. It's not as small as I would want it to be. It's not okay. Alright guys, so change your plans. Okay, so we will go ahead and add, I deleted the button, I'm adding a container. Alright, so a container, so 19 by 13 pixels, and then we paste this color. So I think we didn't copy the color, so I'll just copy the color now and paste it. I think this will help me. And then what's the border radius is 10. Border radius is 10, so we will say 10. Alright, now it has a border radius, a border color, so we will say border color is white. Great. Now there's a text inside, it says 9 pixel. Now inside this container we have to go ahead and add a row. Inside the row we're going to add a text. Alright guys, beautiful. Please, if I tell you have not subscribed to this channel, this is the best time to do it. Please just hit on the subscribe button and like this video too. Thank you. And then so here is 9 the button, and then we're going to say 700 by 8. Yes, it worked. So we can go ahead and say white and click on the row inside the container and center line it. Alright guys, so I think that's it. It gives us a 9+ vibe, right? So now we can make our container the border a bit thicker. So I think we can we not? So border okay, so border width, yes, so we can say 2. So 1, this is a 1 point thing, so 1.5. okay, so this is okay. Now how do we push it apart? So if you click on this and say this 23 pixels away from the end, so we will say 23 pixels here. Great, that's it guys. So we have it here now, you see we have 9+ there. So we click on this now and then we add the text. The text is people. It's 700 by 24, so we just go ahead and paste it here and click on here and say 700 by 24. Beautiful. Now the next thing we need to do quickly is we need to put up these icons. Now the different ways to do this thing, right? So we can just download the entire thing here, or we just group them together and export it. So so let's go ahead and maybe select the 2 and see. Okay guys, let's just do it manually, right? So let's click on this and say add a container, and then container is a cycle, and the cycle is, this is the color of the cycle. The dimension of the cycle is 38 by 38, so we just change these to 38. The color is this one, and inside this is going to be a row. Inside the row is gonna be an image. The image is gonna be this thing inside here, and it's 22 by 22. Let's go ahead and just download it. So we change from SVG to PNG, and we can just change this to 3x and export it. Great. And then now we have, so I think it's 20, what's the size? 22. So the size here says 22 by 22. Remove the border radius, change from network to asset, and then let's go. Alright, so we have the icon here inside. It's basically an image. So then we can click on the row and center align it. Now it's not really looking so obvious. Let's wrap this entire column with a container whose color is white. So I'll make the width infinite, height infinite. Sweet. So now we have it. We can see what we were doing. All right, so container like this. So so now there's some things that are happening here. These two guys are on the left, kind of, and then these two guys are on the right, right? Well, yes. So what we need to do now is I will go ahead and then click on this. No, let's click on the stack here. So this stack, I'm gonna wrap this stack in a row, right? So I'll just wrap the stack in a row, and then this text, I'll cut it out from here, click on this second row now and paste it. All right, that's good. And then I need to go ahead and then this particular one, I will wrap it in a row, wrap it in a row, and then I will just duplicate it, right? And then I will, get this other component. Why is it not allowing me to? Okay, so this is it. Actually, it's not allowing me to. It's called a component. Okay, so this one I could copy this, but these I can't. I can't access the icon inside. So why is that? I'm seeing it here like this, but I'm not seeing this. So I can just go ahead and maybe just download it. Let's download it and let's view it and see how it looks like. Okay, it's just the entire cycle. Okay guys, so if that's the case, let's delete this and this, and basically we'll add an image, and the image is going to be 38 by 38. So our 38 by 38, remove the border radius, change from network to asset, click here to upload the image, and where is it? This is it, and then this is up. Okay guys, so we have it. Let's give it some padding, 12 pixels apart. So I give it padding on the left here, 12. Now this is why I did what I did. I want them to be able to like space themselves apart, and so I'm gonna do this. Now they're apart. If I told they were not in the rows that I added them inside, they wouldn't be spaced like this. So here, this one has a space of 12 pixel on the left. This one has space of like 16. They should be uniform, but I don't know why that's like that. So let's say 16, and then this guy is gonna be 12. Alright, so we have this, and I think there's some space from this person too. So 4 pixels. So let's go ahead and say 4 pixels. Alright guys, we are good, and we're really good. So let's see, we have these two things here. So I think these are like buttons, right? Yes, they're like buttons. Yes, they are buttons. Not so clear, but they're buttons. So these two people. So what we're gonna do right now is just go ahead and then wrap, just add a row. So we're going to add a row inside here, and then here I will just copy this particular text, and then this is 160 by 29. So inside this row I will add the button. The dimension is 160 by 29, right? And it has a white color. Leave it as white, and it doesn't have an elevation, so 0. And then the content is what I had copied before. That the color of the content is gray, so I copy the color code and then paste it here. Great. No, not there. It's a text. All right. Okay, this is it. All right, now we have this. Okay, so I will just go ahead and then maybe give it some padding from the top. So I'll click on this and see it's 34 from the top. So I'll say 34 pixels. And the next thing I'm going to just quickly do is I will duplicate this. I just duplicated it. Yes. I do what I say I will do. Alright guys. So I will just go ahead and copy this, and I will paste it as the background color of the button, the fill color. Alright. So like this. Okay, so we have some border radius we don't need, so we take it off. Okay, actually we do need it, but not on all sides, so I unlock that. We just need it on the edges here. I see it's just 12 by 12. So I will just put it, where is it? So here I will say 12. I had to click to unlock this. Okay, so now that's it. So we have it like this, and let's click here and center align it. Beautiful. So we have this now. So let's see, what next do we need to do? We need to, this says stories, so we will click here and change it to stories. Then we can go ahead and copy this color and then just paste it as the text color. Okay guys, we're doing pretty good. The next thing we need to do quickly is just create for one of these, and that's it. We would have had for all of this, so we didn't really need to start downloading these pictures one by one. Okay, so what's the best way to do these? Let's see. let's come over here and let's just design it first, right? We should design it first, or let's look for some things. Let's say cards, you know, there are cards here. Greed, let's say greed. So we want it to have some form of grid view. Let me see our grid view. So we have grid here, and cross let's see cross axis count 3. So let's change this to 2. Then cross axis spacing, main axis. So let's add what do we have here? Let's add this guy here, and this is a container, of course, and the container is, we're gonna have to download this guy off, right? So we click this and then we say 3x, export it. Great. The dimension is come on, I can't see it. I can't see the entire dimension. Is it 152 by 78? I'm in developer mode, I should see more things, guys. Okay. Alright, so 152 by 78 by 178. So let's say container. So 152, right? 152 by 178. Alright, so this is good, and we will just go ahead and scroll down to background image, and then change from network to asset, and then upload the image. Why not? Okay. Come on, this is not what I wanted. I wanted just the picture. So I'm just gonna copy this, Ctrl C, and then say Ctrl V, then okay, so click on this now, Ctrl Z, and maybe Ctrl V. Okay, so I let me turn this off. Let me preview and see. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. I need just the image. Okay. Export. Alright, so just the image, right? So you just have to be careful a bit. So I will just export just the image. Okay, good. So I will go ahead and add it now. I just needed just the image, so I click on this and I upload the image. And then now we have these we need these this cycle here, so we will go ahead and then just add it. So use box fit. Okay, great. And let's go ahead and say add a column inside these, and then here we add a row. Inside the row we add a container. Inside the container is going to be a cycle, and the dimension of the container, let's turn on developer mode back, 23 by 23. So we would say 23. All right, so then inside this container we will say row. Inside the row we will say icon. Okay, so inside this icon I'm just gonna add this now like this. So I will say add. Okay, so add, then click on the row to just center line it. It might look like it doesn't have a lot of effects, but just click on this one. I don't know how small this icon is. It's not showing, it's not allowing me click on it. So I will just go ahead and turn this to 20. Okay, so 20 and it's black, really black. So I come here and then I paste this. So good. Now that I have this, let's look at it. It's 16 pixels, 16 plus so 36. So basically, yeah, that's how we're gonna calculate it. So 16 plus 20, 36. So that's it, it's inside. And then here this it's 16 from the top, so I'll click on the row and say 16. Okay, great. And then we will just go ahead and add another row inside this column for the name, right? So I'll go ahead and click and add text. All right, so and then I'll copy this. It's 400 by 14, and I'll just paste it here, and it's gonna be 36 again, and I think it's just white color. Okay, so like this, now we have this. We need to look at the padding across, so it's 107. 107 is a goal. That's it. So we will click on this, and then maybe just click on the container. No, let's click on the grid view. All right, so the grid view, we want to go ahead and give it some padding from the top, something like this, 16. So we will say 16. All right, guys, so that's it. So with these now we have our design. So we will, like, we don't need to keep doing for all of them like that. We will do it like much later when we are doing like a backend call. So let's go ahead and then create this part. So from what I'm seeing here, this looks like it's in a container, but no, we don't need to do that. We will just go ahead and then add it to the screen. So we will say no, not the grid, the column. All right, so this is a column, so add a row. Inside the row we will add an image. All right, so this is the image, and then this is it. So we will just go ahead and then add let's download it, export it. I'll use 3x, export it. So great, and then I will just copy this. The dimension of this is 28 by 28. Okay, so so change this to 28 by 28. Right, great. And then here I'll change it from network to asset, then upload the image. This is me uploading the image now, and then I will wrap these widget in a column because there is a text under it. All right, so there's a text under it, so now that has to be in a column. So I'll click on this and then maybe add a maybe a text, just add it. Let's see, we'll need a row, we will put it, and then I'll just go ahead and then add the text. I had copied it already, so this is the text, 400 by 14. I'll copy the font color and then I'll paste it here. Great, and then that's it. Let's see, do we have some spacing between them? Yes, we do. So it's 6. All right, so now I have these, right? So I will just go ahead and then duplicate it, Control D to duplicate, and then here I'll click on this to download these particular icon, export, and then we'll go to 3x, export this as well, and then this is 32 by 20. So I'll click on this and say 32 by 20. Then I'll remove the border radius. Then I will go ahead and then put these inside, and the next thing we need to just do is say people, copy these and paste it here for the people path. All right, so then I'll click on this and say space them apart like this. So like this is okay. Really, we might need to bring them more closer, so click on this a bit and say this way and remove these border radius. All right, and then that's it. So we have it like this. So it's good, right? It's pretty good. So let's see, there's some spacing underneath, 13 pixels, so I will just come over here and add 13 pixels below. All right, so we have this. So let's take a look at the whole thing. So this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like, and we can actually add some markup. Ooh. Well, that markup didn't take into consideration the other things, so we will work on that. Okay, so this is it. This is basically what we have been creating, and the next thing we could just quickly do is to create this one and this one is similar, so we can just do these, right? And then we can go ahead and then just do this part, right? But I wouldn't like the video to be so long, so I think what we have done so far is good enough for part 1. I think we can just stop here, and then we will make it available in part 2. So guys, if at all you haven't subscribed to this channel, please just hit the subscribe button and then subscribe to this channel, like this video as well, and then see you in the next tutorial for part 2. Thank you very much.